back to How to Souls. My name is Rach and today we're going to continue with our walkthrough of Elden Ring. It's time, guys. Only 21 parts into the walkthrough. We're finally going for Margit. But as always, the theme of this walkthrough is play smart, not hard, and we're going to get as buff as we can before we go for Margit. So that's going to start with taking a little trip into Caelid. Now, here in the Dragon Burnt Ruins, I'm just going to mark a little waypoint there. There is a transporter chest, a trapped chest, which if this is your second playthrough and you're listening to this video, I've maybe triggered you. This caught a lot of us out because it's right at the very start in the game, and it's a chest where if you open it, you get teleported to Caelid, and it's just a terrible time. However, today, you know, we're making this game our bitch, and we're doing it on purpose for a reason. So jump down here into the Dragon Burnt Ruins and then down into this cellar. You're going to see a lot of rats in this cellar, which I do recommend that you kill before going for the chest, and it has nothing to do with that random little jump cut we had there. So take your time, kill the rats, and then when we open the chest, we're going to be teleported to Caelid, to Sellia Crystal Tunnel. It's really not difficult to escape this tunnel, and it's going to give us a really nice waypoint to not only get our Somber Stone +5, but to also pick up another couple of cool things. So here we go, chest opened. What were those runes doing there? I don't know, beats me. And here we are in the Sellia Crystal Tunnel. So there's a chest just in front of us here, which is a bit of a joke, to be honest. One final heck you. Gravity Stone Fat. Whoa! Have you ever actually used one of these? Maybe I should try using them. It's not too hard to escape from here. All you have to do is just stick to the left-hand side of this little cabin. Just sort of stick to the wall. These prawns will fire pest threads at you. I got so lucky here and just somehow they just didn't fire at me. But you want to listen for them sort of firing at you. It's going to sound like a sort of I don't know. How do you... You'll get the hang of it, even if one or two get you. You might survive a hit. And then hopefully all you have to do is get down here to this grace. Because once you rest at this grace, if you exit the tunnel, you're then free to teleport away, as with any trapped chest. However, we're not quite ready to leave here yet. We're going to pick up another couple of things just along the swamp that I think are worth pointing out. Up here is where we're going eventually to get our Somber Stone +5, but yeah, I'm assuming that everyone following this walkthrough is really enjoying the Bloodhound Fang because it's bloody fanging awesome. That was quite funny actually. But just in case you aren't, I've got another really cool suggestion that you might also enjoy. First up, we're gonna pick up this crystal lizard looking mother hacker. Stand in the way of its path and then wait patiently for it to come to you before hitting it. This is Ash of War Poison Armament. Sugar, it's not an Ash of War, sorry, it's an incantation. Basically, it'll buff your weapon with poison. And we've been over this before. Poison's very, very good in this game. We're going to run along the edge of the Aeonian swamp, keeping the swamp to our left and then the land to our right until we get to these ruins here, the Street of Sages ruins. So there's a couple of things to pick up here. The first is in this ruin here, there will be a cellar that you can run down. In this cellar, we will find a sorcery, a very special sorcery. This is a gravity sorcery called Rock Sling. Rock Sling and all gravity sorceries, they do physical damage, which is very important for when you're fighting something with high magic defense, like say Renala. And not only that, not only does it do physical damage, it also deals a huge amount of poise damage, of stagger. You'll knock enemies down for those sweet, sweet critical hits, very often using this spell. It's a very good spell, and you can get it right at the start of the game, and this Meteorite staff to go with it. So pick up the two of these and give that a try. The Meteorite staff is very special. It has very, very high magic adjust. Oh, just a little note here, make sure you're always riding Torrent through the rot swamp, because rot is awful, but Torrent doesn't seem affected by it. So I'm just going to look for our next grace just here. There's a couple graces I'm going to pick up, but I'll tell you about the Meteorite staff. Very special, high magic adjust. So any old spell is going to do big damage with it, but it has a boost to gravity sorceries. So Meteorite Staff, Rock Sling, GG. Very potent combo for this early in the game. You don't need too much intelligence to use Rock Sling, and the Meteorite Staff does not scale, so it's designed to be used from the very beginning. So if you were thinking about dabbling in either like a pure magic build or like a hybrid magic build, start with this, definitely. And then if you haven't already found Selin, you can pick up some magic sorceries from her. There's another scarab here that, one of these teleporting mother hackers, that you could just like jump off torrent and like throw a fireball at him, but I'm choosing to be stubborn. But also, you know, we're in the rot swamp, so jumping off torrent isn't always the best idea. And here is the Ash of War. So now we have the incantation for Poison Mist and the Ash of War for Poison Mist. So everyone now can make use of poison for, I mean, most bosses, which is very cool. Having just a throwaway, just sort of like secondary weapon, like a dagger, for example, that just has Poison Mist on it can be very, very useful. I'm picking up this Grace because this will be useful more later on in our playthrough, just while we're here, just exploring parts of Caelid. Don't go anywhere near the big hacking crows, man. They can just get absolutely hecked. My waypoint here that I've placed is over the Map Stone. There's a merchant just before we get to the Map Stone. A lot of these merchants, you do want to take the time to chat to them, because they'll have stone sword keys, cookbooks, cracked pots. Let's see, this one has all three. Whoa! If you pick up this cookbook here, you can learn how to craft rot bone arrows. So rot arrows, very, very good. I'm just going to pop some souls here so I can afford everything here, but you can feel free to just leave a mark on the map if you want to come back here when you have more monies to buy all these things. It's definitely worth doing as you go rather than like forgetting about them. Yes, rot arrows. Bosses quite often can be poisoned and rotten, and it just absolutely obliterates their HP while you're not even anywhere near them. So bows with these kind of arrows, the ability to craft them, very, very good. I don't know what else to say. Very good. And I've picked up that pot there. We're going to use pots now and then. There's a couple bosses that obviously are like, yes, use a pot here, but they're just, you know, it's just good to have. You want to buy them when you can see them and not need them and not have them. Was that proper English? I don't know. So we've picked up the map stone here, and now more of Caelid is visible to us, and we can sort of see where we came from Sellia Crystal Tunnel there, along the Aeonian Swamp to the Street of Sages Ruins, and then round down here to the south. Now this canal here, trench? Now this bit here is where we're aiming for to grab our Somber 5. I'm going to pop a waypoint just here, and we're going to teleport back to the Aeonian Swamp shore, and then just head on north following our waypoint. This is easier to explain once you find the map, because you could see that sort of dark like trench going north, so you could absolutely come here without bothering to get the merchant or the map stone or etc, but for all the time it takes, you may as well spend it now while we're here. But yes, so just up the shore, up the hill here, you will see this sort of cavern, this trench, this, what did I call it before? Stream? I don't know. You'll know you're in the right place if you see these wee, like, anal bead worms, and also a bunch of blue crystals at the end of the path. There's a ball of nope here, and behind it is a Somber Smithing Stone 5. Don't hang around here too long, or the ball of nope will take that personally, and do be aware the anal beads do explode. So that says we've got our Somber 5, so we can put that into our Bloodhound Fang right away if you like, but I do have a Somber 6 to pick up, so it's up to you if you want to like wait until we have both of them before going back to Blacksmith. So we have one half of the Dectus Medallion, yes, but what about second breakfast? Now we're going to teleport to Fort Faroth. Now we already have this grace because we came here earlier. you want to check out the previous parts of my walkthrough. I believe we come here in part 1 to get this grace. We teleport here from behind the Church of Marika in Limgrave, and then run down from the Bestial Sanctum to get here. So Fort Faroth, Caelid, this part of Caelid, especially Dragon Barrow, is very high level. So you can take the time to clear it out, but there's not really much point. We may as well just like pick up what we need here and try and run through it. It's almost easier. As you can see here, I did a jump attack there. We got half of the damage on like one lowly little bat, and they're like the weakest things in this place, so it's up to you if you'd rather take your time and clear out things slowly. Personally, I don't know, I do have quite a lot of experience in this game, so maybe that's affecting it, but I think it's easier just to run through. We got poisoned here by the Banshee, so I'm just like, nah, these guys have like so much HP. I'm just running through here. Don't worry about like using an antidote, because poison is so slow. We want to get to safety of this ladder, climb up it, and then once we're up the ladder we can like heal, or we can even heal on the ladder if you're feeling spicy. I want to take this moment just to apologise for the lack of game audio in this walkthrough. As explained in previous parts, I had about 8 hours of footage that had no game audio, and it was heartbreaking, but we're dealing with it. And I just never stopped talking anyway, so it's fine. In this chest, the Dectus Medallion. Right, now we have both parts of the Dectus Medallion. This will help us, or rather enable us, to operate the Grand Lift of Dectus in the Altus Plateau. Or to get to the Altus Plateau. This is important because this is how we're going to get our Somber Stone 6. Now, you don't need to do any of this before Margit, but if you are all about trying to get as powerful as possible, then, you know, do this. Fall down this hole here at the back. Do not stop running because there will be ghosties that spawn and chase you. This pickup here is somewhat important because, oh my god, look at the thickness of these rats. 4 hits to get a rat down. Pick up this Golden Rune 12. So if you need money in a pinch, Golden Rune 12, it's worth quite a lot of runes. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's there and it's free, and pick it up. Avoid the giant rat here to fall down another hole, and then round the corner here is a talisman. It's Radagon's Soreseal. So we have Radagon's Scarseal, and now we have Radagon's Soreseal, which is like the more powerful version. It will give you some stats in exchange for taking more damage. It's something wild, like 15% more damage taken in exchange for 5 vitality, strength, endurance, etc. I'm going to put it on the screen just now. And it's up to you. It's very good. It is very good. I personally struggle knowing that I'm going to be taking more damage. Like, situationally, sometimes it can be good, and sometimes you don't need it. Okay, so Grand Lift of Dectus is right up here. We've got a long road up from Liurnia to get there. Now, there's a spirit spring just here that we can use to get up there. We haven't been up here. We've been around the area before. We came here in part 1 when we were picking up Somberstone. I believe it was number 3 that was up here. So we have been here, but we didn't pick up the grace. So off for another run up north to my waypoint here. Now, you will see another wandering mausoleum here, much like the one that we met in the Weeping Peninsula. However, this one is different. This one doesn't have any skull barnacles on his feet. You have to enter this one in a different way. So we'll go over that when we do our Liurnia cleanup. But just now, we're just going to have a wee check him out and just sort of like get used to this. As soon as you think you know how to do something, no, you don't. Okay, here's our spirit spring right here. So we're going to use that to jump up to this gate. And then grab the grace up here. There's a finger reader here. The finger readers, the little old ladies, they're good for giving you a little hint if you're not really sure on how to progress. But let's be real, I'm the only finger reader that you're going to need. Have a little rest here. How's my level looking? It's probably looking pretty good. This gate here, if you have the key to the academy, this seal will teleport you straight to the gates to Raya Lucadia. However, we don't have the key. For now, we're going to jump on Torrent and head up the road north. Now, if you're coming here at night, there will be a Knight's Cavalry. Here, we're going to clear him when we just do all the Liurnia field bosses. So just do be aware, either fight or flight for him. We're going to make a pit stop off at this church. You can tell it's a church because it's kind of like got the shape of one on the map. You can always see like the little square. Like if you ever see this sort of shape, the square with the ruins, it's a Church of Marika. It's going to have a sacred tier inside it. So I get a little bit distracted following the road. I think I'm following like the wrong waypoint, and I do go past the church a little bit. I do sort of realize, obviously you can't open your map while you're in combat. So you can't just like open your map and be like, hang on, am I going the right way every couple of seconds? But I'll correct it. Yeah, I think we get to about here and I'm like, huh, where's the church, huh? There it is, just on the left. So yeah, I came a little bit far, but we'll head the right way. In this church, we have, as always, a Grace, Bellum Church, this one, and a Sacred Tier. However, this one has like a big hole in the ground, and we can travel down it to check that out. There's our Sacred Tier. Pop that into your flask to increase the amount healed or restored with each drink. Makes it go further. Yeah, down here, down the hill, we have another merchant. So chat to him to get the little merchant symbol to appear on your map. And as for buying stuff for him, he sells the cookbook that lets us make great arrows, which I don't plan on using. So I don't think I bother picking this one up. Bewitching Branch, this will be helpful much later in the playthrough. But it's good just to like chat to this guy so he appears on your map, just for, you know, for your memory's sake. Up here, up this way, this cave at the end here is the Struben Precipice, which is just really fun to say. Now, this is one of two methods to get up to Altus Plateau. It's a really big cave. It's a bloody fantastic cave, actually. It's really long. And it has a boss at the end. However, you know, we have both halves of the medallion, which doesn't involve any fighting. So that's the easier way to get up to Altus Plateau. And that's the way that we're going to go. But just know that at some point, you know, we will do Runestrewn. If you're doing like region locked, like if you're like, if you don't want to like run to Caelid early or whatever, maybe like you wouldn't get the Dectus Medallion, but I can't think of a world where you would pick. Oopsie. The cave over the lift. So, as you've seen, there are catapults firing at us on this road, so you can employ a sort of ziggy-zaggy evasion technique. I like running for the wall because obviously if you're like right underneath the catapults they can't hit you, but I always tend to get hit like once, man. I feel sorry for poor Torrent. But we're gonna just keep running, not stopping, all the way up the road till we get to the Grand Lift Grand Building. There's a grace in here that we're quickly going to pick up because the next thing that we're going to do before we take the lift is somewhat dangerous. So we do want to make sure we pick up this grace here. Oh, there's a shiny on the stairs. Dragon Wound Grace. Use this for your next dragon that you fight. Very, very good against dragons. Yeah, you do want to pick up this grace just in case you die in the next section, which is a very real possibility because it's kind of a pain. Well, it's a pain if you like try and skip it by running past it like I do. It might be less of a pain if you take the time to clear it. I don't know. So we're going to turn left here and head up this hill to the Madness Village, the Ailing Village. Up here, you will see the mother freaking eye of Sauron at the top of this tower. A big yellow eye, lidless, wreathed in flame. Where is it? There he is! Hey, Sauron. Hello, hello, hello. This will build up madness to you when you're in line of sight, and also freaking sometimes when you're not even in line of sight. Madness will do a huge amount of damage to you as you're about to see. Yeah, huge amount of damage, knock you off Torrent, and is just a pain in the ass. Keeps building up, doing loads of damage to you as it builds up, and then when it builds up, knocks you off Torrent. So we're going to go through the Frenzied Flame Village here, The eye cannot see us from here, thankfully, but we'll go around the corner again within its line of sight just here. But yeah, head up this hill towards the church. So this church, again, has a sacred tear in it, which is worth picking up as early as you can. However, we are about to be dismounted. This has a scripted NPC invasion, and this is Vike. So Vike, cool guy. Ouchie, madness again, which is using all of my flasks. Cool guy, he uses a spear that is laced with madness, and he also uses frenzied flame incantations. Vike's quite tough. So what I quite like to do, because I'm a pussy, is literally just get the grace first, and then get this tear, and then just pick up this finger maiden clothes just here, and then I don't know, I'm not really that bothered. I'm just gonna like probably throw to Vike. I mean, always you want to try and win. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, he's doing a lot of damage to me for my lack of armor. I think I just can't really be bothered, and I just sort of like accept my fate. He's very cool though, isn't he? Please, what was that, man? I think I was chatting to chat. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of just give up. But we got what we came for. We'll come back here later and we will take down Vike. Don't worry. We'll do it in the cleanup. So I can use my sacred tear there. 2 of them to get to our flask +7. Very nice. We need a few more golden seeds before we can get another charge to the flask, but that's +7. It's pretty high. Let me pick up my runes just here. So that finger maiden, that dead finger maiden that we found at this church, there are 2 dead finger maidens in this game. We'll talk more about them in a bit, when we find the other one, I guess. Right, for now, it's back to the Grand Lift of Dectus, and we're actually going to take the lift this time. Picking up that sacred tear. There's a couple other things around there, obviously, but like I said, we're just passing through. We're just here for the Somber 6, so we're just, we'll come back there later, don't worry. The lift then drops us at the Altus Plateau. So, a new land. This will trigger a couple things in the story, but nothing you need to worry about. I'll walk you through it all. I quite like to just avoid these golems. I think they are chill. I think they're chill if you come from out of the lift. I think they don't attack you, but I don't like to take any chances. So we got a lot of running to do here. So firstly, I'm just going to grab this grace, and before we do any of that, we're just going to pop back to the round table holds, because Corin here we need to talk to him to progress his quest. So literally just talk to him until he says, it was the first thing he said to me, I think I'm going to leave round table hold. Okay? Any NPC, just talk to them until they repeat themselves. Cure Poison, did we pick up one of them? Oh, no, we didn't. Okay, now we're going to pick up Cure Poison, the incantation. Flame Cleanse Me is an improvement to this that we'll get later on, but for now, yeah, I just want Cure Poison. Nothing is missable from this guy, you can get it at some point. Oh, and then if you rest and explode a chair, he's gone. Perfect. So make sure Corin is gone before we do this next part of the quest. Now we're going to want to chat to this lovely fellow. So this is D, Hunter of the Dead. I missed the first part of his quest because I was prioritizing like getting very powerful over like showing you guys every single part of NPC questlines, which is, you know, videos that I can make in future. So you can chat to D. He'll tell you a little bit about himself. He sells some Golden Order incantations, but that's good for now. We've introduced ourselves. I'm going to head around to Hughie, and pop this Somber 5 into my weapon, because we haven't seen him for a while. He's like, oh, I thought you were dead. Steven! I thought you were dead. I need a few more runes here, so I'm just going to sell some runes to Hugh, which gives you the same amount of money if you had popped them. It's just a nice, like, faster way to do it. So that gets us the Bloodhound Fang +5. Like I said, you could wait until you get the 6, but I just do it. I'm here, so I just do it. Hugh and Roderica are linked, so we are just exhausting the dialogue here, asking him about her. We ask him about the chains on his legs, etc. And then Roderica has some dialogue here as well. But before we do that, we are going to level up our jellyfish and our wolves. I'll be back here later with more runes and more gloveworts for that. But yeah, she says there's something you should know. I smell a smelly man who smells like poo somewhere in the round table hold. So, I mean, I don't think you need to do that part, but it's that's the part that comes before the other part. So there you go. I choose to head down here. This part of the round table hold you need 2 stone sword keys for. So this one here, just to open up the first gate. There's a couple fun little shinies to get in here. This chest just here by the fireplace has a black key crossbow and some black key bolts. And then there's another stone sword key to open this second. Oh, it's 2! Freaking hell, it's 2! 2 stone sword keys. See, this is why we keep buying them when we see them. You need so many of them. In here we have the Assassin's Prayer Book. So this will allow us to learn the Assassin's Approach and the Darkness incantations if we give this prayer book to a priest or a pope or a dog. So we picked up those just while we're passing by. Assassin's Approach, pretty cool for like sneaking up on stuff. It can be situationally like super OP. It's like Hidden Body if you've played Dark Souls. Okay, next on our list of NPCs that we want to chat to, we're going around the corner here and speaking to Ensha. Now, Ensha is a bitch, but we do want to talk to her while we can to get this gesture. Well, what do you want? Because it is missable, and that's all I'll say about that. And then through here we have the Smelly Man, the Stench. Here's the twin maiden husks. You can buy stuff from them. Also, if you kill any NPCs, you can give them the bell baiting. Oh, there's 3 stone sword keys in here, so you can buy all 3 of those to get the round table hold stone sword things if you like. But yeah, here's the loathsome dung eater, the cruel caca consumer, etc. So you can chat to him. He doesn't make much sense. He's kind of mean. He's kind of weird. He's kind of smelly. We all love him. He's universally loved. Chat to him until he starts repeating himself. Now, Dung Eater has his own quest. He has his own ending, which I will be aiming to show off to you guys so you can decide which ending you want. I'll show you how to unlock it. And then round here next, we haven't actually spoken to Gideon. And that's because I hate him and I'd rather not speak to him. But you do need to speak to him to further Nefeli's quest. So I suppose we will have a little chinwag and he will lend us his ears. So chat to him until he starts repeating himself. Wow, now Rach is repeating herself. Maybe we should move to the next area. And then if you rest, he will move on. This door isn't open yet because we haven't beaten a shard baiter, but it will. Oh, it will. Okay, with all that done, we're going to go back to Altus. And we'll come back here later for more NPC stuff. We're just sort of like chipping away at it as we go so it doesn't get stale. Back up to Altus. We're going to follow this road here, just up from the lift and the golems from the lift. There is another Night Rider. They're not called Night Riders, are they? Black Knight? What the frick are they called? You know what I'm talking about. There's another one of those here at night time, so be aware of that. We're going to take the branching path here to the left and head up the hill. That's going to annoy the heck out of me. My brain is like so weird. I just like forget random words. So there's a golden seed here on this golden tree, but we are going to continue up the road to get to the map fragment, which is just a little further up ahead. Boop. So with this, we can now see the map, which is always super OP. So you should always aim when you get to a new area to get the map fragment, unless you're in the shadow of the Erd tree, because my god, that can lead you on such a wild goose chase. Anyway, continue following the path until you get to a huge broken bridge. This is where we're heading. There's a merchant here, there's Grace here, and there's a teleporter here. So we're gonna get those. And a finger reader lady. So Grace first, and then merchant. I haven't got any runes, but we could pop some just while we're here. And this teleporter will take us to the other side of the bridge. I'm just gonna go chat to the merchant first. Oh dear. Are you here as a customer? He has 3 more stone sword keys. Give me all of those. And a prayer book as well. Not a prayer book, sorry, a cookbook. A cookbook. So I'm going to pop some runes so we can afford all the things. That's what they're for. Was that 7k? Was that the rune, the 12 rune was 7k? See, that's awesome. For free. Alright, so I'm able to buy the cookbook and one of the stone sword keys. So this guy still has keys on him. So what you can do is literally just put a little mark on your map. I like to use the little man to indicate the merchant still has something that I want. And I'll come back here later when I have like runes, like if I do like a level and I have like a spare 10k runes, which isn't enough for another level, then I'll like do a little world tour and like see what I can invest those spare runes into. So the teleporter teleports you, which is funny that, yeah, to the other side of the broken bridge here. Now I've gone north, don't do what I do. I've gone the wrong way. You want to head back to the broken bridge. And there's an NPC here at the very end that we are going to want to speak to. Or to speak to speak at. Here's another Dragon's Wound Grace, and this is Gold Mask. So Gold Mask is a man of few words. He always seems to be pointing towards the tree. He's kind of gesturing towards the capital, the Erd tree. He doesn't say anything, but just having seen him, having interacted with him, will further Corin's quest. So do that. We're heading for the Spirit Spring here, where we can make a safe landing, because if you didn't already know, although the Spirit Springs help you to jump up, they can also help you safely jump down somewhere. So we're going to then jump up and use it to reach this sort of middle part of the path. So this caravan here, you can completely bypass everything and just jump onto the end of it and open the chest. And this will get you great stars. This is a weapon that is freaking awesome. I love great stars. We will be using this later in the walkthrough. So do remember to pick it up here. And then after that, literally, we're going for another little nice wee stroll. We're not on TikTok. Nice wee stroll. Just down here, as you can see, off to the west, to this next zone. We're actually leaving Altus Plateau entirely. And heading to Mount Gelmir. And again, this is somewhere that we're not gonna, we're gonna clear it properly, but not for a wee while. We're just here to get our free Somber 6 and get super ridiculously strong for Margit. There's a Grace as soon as you come over the bridge here on the left. This next part has tripped me up once or twice. But there's a big old ladder that we have to get to. And there's an abductor virgin sort of guarding it. So what I do in this footage is I try being the keyword. I like try to distract it and get it away from the ladder so I can then like climb the ladder, but it messes up like so much and I almost die and it's embarrassing. What you should do is just run straight for the ladder. But I'm like, hey, no, maybe I should distract the virgin. And I don't know what I'm doing here. I actually, if anything, get him closer to the ladder. And then it's like, go, 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 climb for your life. No, just take the time. You can lead him away, very, very far away, and then make a sprint for this place. But luckily, we can heal on the ladder. And the grace was not too far away. If you do mess it up once or twice, it's not a big deal. But this bit can be a little bit annoying, I do admit. This ladder is freaking long, so I've skipped to the top of it. And again, on the left is another grace. We've also got like a little graveyard here with lots of free runes to pick up, so don't miss those. We like free runes. Heckin' yes, we do. I think there's actually one here that's like really big as well. There's a 3, 2. Like, is this one here like a 6? 7. Let's go. And a 4. Nice. And then on the very edge here, with a faithful hound just beside him, is a dead guy with a somber smithing stone, 6 upon him. So there we go. That, we didn't have to fight anything. We literally just teleported straight here and ran straight here, and we got a somber 6. So I'm going to pop this into my weapon right away. Back to Hugh. And I don't know if I have enough runes, but we can always pop some. Yes, I do. 2240. Nice. So we've got Bloodhound Fang plus 6. 10 is the maximum. Plus 6 for Margit. This is quality. Okay, so once again, I've just got a couple more things to pick up as well, because like, why not just go all the way, okay? So back to Altus Plateau, we're gonna go to this grey part of the map that we will not be revealing for a while, actually, so we gotta sort of, I will lead you blindly, but hopefully this footage is enough to explain it. So yeah, we're heading sort of north up here into the grey part of the map. We've got a couple things to pick up. One of which, very, very important, but I do admit this is a lesser importance detour. So if you're getting a little bit itchy, you can head straight for Margit if you like, but I am having fun here. There's a scarab that has the shield crash Ash of War. Now, I've seen some really funny clips of people using this in PvP. Just like pushing people off cliffs with their shield. That'll be really good if you're rocking a great shield with like a guard counter kind of build, and you want to like push stuff. But there's a grace here and a golden seed, so that might just be enough to get another charge on my flask, I think, or maybe we need one more. And then we're going to follow the path, this sort of like brown mud path, just through these trees and south. Now, there is a dragon that lands on you just here. We're not going to wait around and chat to him. We're just going to run straight down to the very bottom of this path. Now, this is where you would emerge if you had come from the ruin-strewn precipice. Up here with all these overturned caravans. See, there's Lanciax. He's massive and difficult, but I don't know, have a go if you like. But I'm not going to right now. And yes, so there's the grace just there. So first of all, we'll just pick up the grace. And then there is a body here that has a couple of pieces of armour on it, which may be useful for you. They're free, they're right here. So we're going to go back up the path, back up the east path. There's a couple of enemies, we're just going to avoid them if we can. Good avoidance, Rach, good avoidance. And then right up here on one of the caravans, the next batch of caravans, I believe. There it is. Okay, so just there is a body. Oh, I picked up a berry. Is a body with the ruler's mask and the ruler's robe. Right, so ruler's mask is one of the many pieces of armor, mainly helms, that give you like some free stats from wearing it. So the mask will give you +1 in faith while you have it equipped. Now this could be really useful to allow you to use certain incantations early, a whole level early. So it's worth pointing out. It's right there, so it's worth picking up. Now we're going to head across this swamp past all the Miranda flowers, and we're looking for a cave. We're going to go into Sage's cave, and we don't have to clear it because, again, this is like an area that we're not really tackling just yet. Oh, let me pick up these Trina's Lily. You never know when you're going to need sleep pots. But yeah, cave is just here. Sage's cave. So in here we have another piece of armor that I think is pretty much like essential, I would say, for the Bloodhound Fang. For the way that I like to play the Bloodhound Fang, and that is by using a lot of jump attacks. Oh, it's a dead end. Oh, no. Whoa, no, it's not. Whoa. So what you can do here is again, if you want, you can take your time. Stuff here is pretty solid. Those who live in death always need like hit again so they don't resurrect. A couple of illusory walls here. It's a good cave. I like this cave. Lots of treasure to find in here, but the enemies can get quite hard, so it's up to you if you want to take the time and explore, or if you want to come back later, because you can just like put a little mark on the map. I like to use a skull for caves with like bosses that are still alive in them, and you can like come back later. But yeah, this path that I'm doing, I had all the very best of intentions to like just clear out the whole path, but then I sort of realized, maybe not yet. So we're just sort of exploring down here until we get to this room at the end. Yeah, so this room at the end with the campfire and all that, these guys are tricky to fight all at once because some are ranged. They always keep trying to come back from the dead. And then this guy with a big axe, well, you saw that there. Like, that was almost my entire health bar. So I'm just like not in the mood for risks, really. There's a chest here behind an illusory wall that I make an attempt at, but it's just not happening for me, guys. We can come back later. Like, no problem at all. Alright, let's see what they take from fire. Not very much. Not very much at all. Our faith is still pretty low. Like, we're still working on faith. Here's another illusory wall between these two braziers. Now, this is not looking very good for me, guys. The panic rolls. Now, as lovely as it would be to pick up all these chests, I just want to come in here and get what I need and leave. So I'm just going to leave for now. We can come back. It's fine. Head on down the cave. This room's kind of empty now, though, so I can get this chest now. I guess. Free stone sword key. I say free, we bled for it. Quite a lot. And then I head through here. More chests that I can't pick up because I'm being pursued. And then I jump on the left. I guess, forget which button the jump button is. Oh, no, I got hit. I got hit in the back as I was trying to jump. That was it. So, yeah, you're meant to jump to the left here. And then this sort of dead end that's not really a dead end. Whoa! This is the room we're wanting here. So there's no enemies in here. Raptor's black feathers. That's the one. That's the boys. And the skeletal mask. So the chest piece here has an effect on it that strengthens jump attacks. I believe it's by 10%, which isn't gonna, like, you know, be the difference between, you know, something living or dying. It might be the difference between something living or dying. You never know. Like, we're gonna take all the 10% that we can get to get super buff, to kick some ass. There's the ruler's mask there. Increases faith. So I quite like the raptor, like, helm as well. I just think it looks kind of cool with the chest piece. I feel like I kind of like Night's Watchman from A Song of Ice and Fire. So I'm sort of fiddling around with my setup here to try and get a medium load, because I think we were a little bit heavy, and also kind of playing around with fashion a little bit. So This is what we're wearing now for the foreseeable future. We're going to wear this chest piece for maybe the entire game until we get something like cooler looking, I suppose. Okay, because we're inside a cave that we haven't completed, we can't just teleport out. There's a boss here at the end of this hallway that's like the sort of, I believe this one's like the bonus boss. This is like the secret boss. So the fastest way to do this might actually be to just kill this boss because he's like an absolute pushover anyway. Buff up with your Flask of Physique, Flame grant me strength. I don't think you'll need a grease, but we'll do it anyway because it looks cool. And open with the jump attack, which is now doing more damage now. This is Necromancer Gaddis. Now he just has such little health that we literally just spam him and he doesn't give us a hard time at all. He's got a little pal, a little like sluggy, snaily, snaky pal, which I just completely ignore, but you might want to take care of that before turning your attention back to Gaddis. Like I said, just keep the pressure up, keep jumping, attacking to him. He does magic damage, but hopefully like you're able to gain the upper hand before he even has a chance to cast. So with that boss down, we get a teleport back out the door of the Sage's Cave. Now I know, and now you know, that there is a second boss in this cave. That was like the bonus boss, so we will be coming back there later. I'm just going to mark it with a skull, because that helps me remember. Right, but we got our Raptor Feathers, we got our Somber +6. It's finally time, guys. It's Margit time. Let's go. The last thing, which I have not mentioned that we'll talk more about after the fight, is Margit's Shackle. So if you are able to get Margit's Shackle, if you were able to get Margit's Shackle before now, rejoice. If you didn't, I'm afraid I've made a little mistake and we can't get it. We did find patches earlier on in the walkthrough, and I don't know why I didn't buy it. It's quite expensive. It's like 5,000 runes, so maybe I thought, oh, that's quite a lot of runes, I'll spend it later, and then I completely forgot. So hopefully you didn't forget. Oh, kill this scarab for Wild Strike's Ash of War. We're going to use that later. It's very useful. And then we're just going to run past everything here. Big ol' hacking trebuchet. Trebuchet? Ballista. Ballista. Trebuchet, like, is what we were fighting earlier, and I called that catapult. Anyway, run past everything, get the Ash of War, GG. It's time for Margit. Yeah, so Margit's Shackle. Yeah, I'll talk more about that later. But if you have it now, great. And if you didn't already get it, sorry about that. But we're so powerful, I think we'll be okay. Margit time at last. So if you want to have a little rest, I guess, get all your buffs back, etc. There is as soon as you go through this gate, the fight will start. There is an NPC summon here for Roger, who is a caster. Now, he's not going to do that much, like, good tanking, but he's another target that could potentially take some aggro from you, so it's worth pointing out. When you bring an NPC summon or a player summon, the boss will have increased 50% more HP. So instead of that, we're going to just bring our Jellyfish Ash. +2 is absolutely fine. She will do absolutely fine. Margit's going to die before she dies. I guarantee you. For you, anyway. And yeah, our Flask of Physique has Dexterity and Strength in it, which are just giving us bonus damage because of the scaling from our weapon, which does more damage the more Strength and Dex we have. Blood Grease, Margit does bleed. He can also be poisoned. Jellyfish is going to poison for us, so you could use like Poison Grease, or you could use like the Poison Ash of War on like a sub-weapon. Obviously, you can't change the Ash of War on the Bloodhound Fang because it's a somber weapon. So yeah, from here, I'm like, maybe I don't want to buff because I just know that Margit's going to go down like so quickly, but you want to just buff up with everything before you go forward into this arena. Foul tarnished. Maybe my favorite voice line in the game, and you don't get to hear it on this walkthrough, I'm afraid. You're just gonna have to hear it in the game. Sorry, no flipping game audio. Sorry. I'll extinguish your flame if you extinguish my flame, if you know what I mean. So as soon as we are in control, we're going to summon the jellyfish. And then she's going to immediately take aggro. Hopefully she'll be the first to hit him. Just roll through him there. We got a nice like big jump attack to open. Yeah, so She will poison him with her spit, and she's also pretty thick, so she should be able to get the poison off very quickly, even if he is like totally focused on her. But what you can do is you can draw focus just to help her stay alive long enough to get him poisoned. Now Margit's got like, it's very hard for me to show off his abilities while he's like attacking a spirit ash. So basically just do the ping pong thing of like when he's looking at you, run away. When he's looking at her, you can get jump attack in, that kind of thing. So Margit is the first boss that will really teach you about Elden Ring's delayed attacks. Now you could see just there, the jump attack, he hangs in the air for a second. So if you are a roll spammer, this is about to be an awakening for you. We've actually already pushed him to phase 2 and he is poisoned. So this is around the time my cogs are turning in my brain and I'm thinking, right, this is like a good way to beat him, but I'm not really showing his moves, how to avoid them, etc. So I decide to chill out a little bit on the whoa, almost die. Chill out a little bit on the damage. I do let Margit just take down the jellyfish, just so we have a one-on-one situation, so I can show you his moves properly. So he is in phase 2, so bear in mind the hammer, his like spirit hammer, only comes out in phase 2. So you won't have to worry about that right at the start of the game. We have daggers, which are in phase 1. You want to dodge to the left and then dodge to the right. Or you could dodge forwards through the second one to get closer to him for a rolling attack. And then he also has a fan of knives that he'll do when he jumps up. Again, that's like a side roll or a forward roll. Here, when he's attacking with his cane, this always has a follow-up. So he'll spin twice with that one. So always be ready to dodge twice. Left, right, and then the hammer means we can roll forward or jump. I actually find the jump invincibility window to be very, very good for the hammer here. But if jumping and rolling is a little bit confusing, you just have to time the roll properly. So his melee attacks, we're going to dodge through the staff. So we're going to dodge to his right, our left, get around the back of him, try and hit the tail. When he brings out this short sword, I find that combo quite tricky, so I just totally back off. I don't want to be anywhere near him when he's trying to hit me with the short sword. Similarly, when he is comboing, get out of that flippant, yeah, I hate that combo. When he's comboing with a dagger, right? This is a great move to punish. Sweep, sweep, and then you can hit him. So we're looking for his jumping attacks, which are always a little bit delayed, and his spin to win attacks, like you just saw at the end there. Margit, especially if you kept up the pressure while your jellyfish was alive, will not stay alive for long. I hope I was able to show you there the main moves to look out for. The big one, I guess, when he jumps at you with the hammer, try using a jump as he hits the ground. Obviously, you don't want to like collide with the hammer because that is silly. But if you're like a fair distance away and you jump, I found it had a better invulnerability than the roll. You might find it easier. Okay, so for your prize for beating Margit is a talisman pouch. So now we can equip 2 talismans at once instead of just the one, which is awesome. This is me now going through my bags in disbelief that I totally forgot about Margit's Shackle. So Margit's Shackle, you can use this in phase 1. So before you get him to 50%, use it like an item. It goes on your equipment belt. And it will bind him to the ground, allowing you to get a huge number of hits in. Probably proccing bleed. It could be worth, using the blood grease before going into the arena, then using the shackle and just like getting a massive amount of damage off on him. Essentially pushing him to phase 2 like right away. You get Margit's Shackle from Patches at the Murkwater Cave, which, as I explained earlier on, before we fought Margit, I forgot to do for some reason. But if you got it, great. If not, like you've just seen there, I don't think you'll have an issue. But we are going to pick up Margit's Shackle for future reasons. So I'm going to put a pin in that. With Margit down, it's time to head into our first legacy dungeon of the game and my favourite, Stormveil Castle. Now this is going to be a big chunky episode, the next episode, so I hope you're up for it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to see the next part first, and I will see you in the next video.